From whispered conversations in gilded halls to public spectacles that capture global attention, we bring you daily updates on the intrigue, heartache, and triumphs that shape royal lives. Whether it's a sudden feud, a powerful speech, or a tender glimpse of vulnerability, you won't miss a moment of the stories captivating millions. Step inside, follow along, and discover the timeless drama of royalty updated for you every single day. Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel. The past week has been particularly turbulent. This time it comes not from across the Atlantic, but much closer to home, from a couple who have been fueling scandals for the past decade or so. Andrew has been a long source of uneasiness within palace circles, as he has been edging uncomfortably back into public view. Part of the unease stems from the sense that he and his ex-wife, despite years of scandal, have never been entirely frozen out. With every unanswered allegation, to which Andrew has always maintained his innocence, the King and Prince William face a daily battle to uphold the firm's reputation. Serious questions must be asked as to who knew what and when at Buckingham Palace. The King, who continues to undergo grueling weekly treatment for cancer 19 months after his diagnosis, has grown weary of this particular battle. Prince William could barely hide his disdain for his uncle when he attempted to cozy up to him at a family funeral last month. This forced the 76-year-old king to take a tough step, issuing an explosive ultimatum to his younger brother that finally forced him to surrender his titles. On Friday, October 17, King Charles delivers yet another blow to his disgraced brother that Andrew will no longer use his royal titles, including the Duke of York, the Earl of Inverness, and Baron Killyleagh. In addition, Andrew could be forced to speak to Met police detectives investigating claims the royal passed on private information on his sex abuse accuser in an attempt to discredit her. The prince's team tried to hire internet trolls to hassle Jouffre, she has claimed in her posthumous memoir. Not for the first time, the royal family finds itself mired in sleaze thanks to Prince Andrew. Sending him into exile is not enough to save them. Unless Charles finds a way to amputate his brother once and for all, then the swamp Andrew once frolicked in will drag down the monarchy itself. Just 2 days after Andrew made the shocking announcement, the official website of the British royal family has removed the Duke of York from Andrew's name. However, references to his Duke of York title were still live within the text, including a line that reads, "The Duke of York's active service with the Royal Navy spanned 22 years until July 2001. Prince Andrew is also still featured on the landing page for the individual pages of royal family members, although toward the bottom, just above a shared page for Harry and Meghan, who are no longer working members of the royal family. His constant controversies and brutal scrutiny over the years, and now with the release of scathing books and memoirs, the situation became intolerable for Charles. As per the official website, Andrew, who has also withdrawn from his knighthood as a Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order, his Garter role as a Royal Knight Companion of the Most Noble Order of the Garter, no longer mentioned in the line of succession. Henceforth, the King, who had been hesitant to remove Andrew's royal titles through Parliament, threatened last week to take the matter to the House of Commons if that became his only option. While the United Kingdom's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has been pressurized by some of the MPs to remove the disgraced Duke of York from Parliament and its bench, many other prominent members have been suggesting that the British royal family must be guided by the removal. The SNP's Westminster leader, Stephen Flynn, told that if an Act of Parliament is required to strip the likes of Prince Andrew of their titles, then there can be no justification from the government over why that isn't happening. Andrew Loney said the process to officially remove his titles was relatively simple and could take just a day. On Sunday, October 19, the 76-year-old monarch was pictured arriving at the Crathie Kirk church near Balmoral to attend the morning service. Late Queen Elizabeth's eldest son was seen quietly as he was sitting on a passenger seat in a dark car. A palace source says new allegations against Prince Andrew should be examined in the appropriate way. A royal source also told the BBC that they were expecting more days of pain ahead in the scandal. According to insiders' report, the monarch will exclude Prince Andrew and Sarah Fergie Ferguson from this year's Sandringham celebrations, aiming to keep them as invisible as possible amid renewed scrutiny over their ties to Jeffrey Epstein. You can't sack someone from being your brother. But this year, if the Duke and Duchess were both to be as honorable as last year, it would be very much for the best and the family would not be disappointed, not least to avoid the king having to make any more difficult decisions. Last Christmas, Andrew and Fergie quietly stayed at their Windsor home, Royal Lodge, while King Charles and others gathered at Sandringham. Reports then emerged that Prince William was putting pressure on Charles to distance himself from Andrew following the string of controversies. Now, it has been claimed that Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah have been told they are not welcome at the 2025 Royal Christmas celebrations. And following in the footsteps of the Sussexes, the source says Andrew and Fergie's desperation could lead to the pair sitting down for a joint TV interview to tell the world their side of the story. Sitting down together and addressing their critics head-on has been discussed. It's all wretchedly unfair in their eyes, and of course they're terrified where it's all headed. But at the same time, they're fighters who won't give up and roll over. So they have to consider backup options, especially as it seems they're now unhireable in so many circles. A tell-all does tick off a lot of boxes. It would be the perfect way to address the public and articulate exactly why they feel so hard done by.